Welcome to today's video. In this video, I'm going to continue looking at algebraic expressions and formula. And in today's video, I'm going to look at a simplifying algebraic expression, which involves multiplication and division. So watch this video up to the end as I'm going to show you how you can simplify algebraic expressions that involves multiplication and division. Okay, with that being said, let's get into today's lesson. So let me start by stating that you may multiply or divide like terms or unlike terms. So you can multiply an expression which has like terms and the one which has unlike terms. So this one is different from addition and subtraction, where you subtract and add like terms only. But when you're dividing or multiplying, you can divide or multiply like terms or unlike terms. Okay, so now let's go to the steps you follow when multiplying or dividing algebraic expression. So steps to follow when multiplying or dividing algebraic expressions. Step number 1 is multiply or divide the signs. So the first thing you need to do, you need to multiply or divide the signs. Okay, the signs we are talking about are positive or negative. If the number is a negative, you need to multiply the negative sign by, whether it's being multiplied by a positive, then you multiply a negative by a positive. If it's multiplied by a negative, then you multiply a negative by a negative. The second step you need to follow is multiply or divide the coefficients. So that means numbers. After multiplying the signs, you now come to multiply coefficients, which are numbers. Okay, once you have multiplied and you have gotten the product, then the next thing you do is you multiply or divide the variables one by one. Okay, so first thing, you multiply the signs. Second, you multiply the coefficients, which are numbers. The third step is you multiply or divide the variables one by one. Okay, now you should also note that when dividing algebraic expression, it is possible to cancel between the numerator and the denominator. Okay, so it's possible that when you are dividing, where it's necessary, you can just divide, you can just cancel out the numbers which are numerators or denominators. So if you cancel out on the numerator, that means you also cancel out the denominator. Okay, then you should also know that you divide by the same factor. So if the number cannot be cancelled out completely, you can find the common number that can go into the numbers you are dividing, and then you divide those two numbers by the common number, which is, I'm saying, you can, when you are dividing two numbers, you can find the highest common factor of those two numbers, then that is the one you're going to use to divide those two numbers. Okay, let me demonstrate what I'm saying through these four examples. Okay, I'm going to use these 4 examples. So let's start with the question 1. Question 1, we have 2a multiplied by 5b. 2a multiplied by 5b. So I'm going to write it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow those steps. So you multiply or divide the signs. Now, since these numbers are made of the positives, we can say positive by positive will give us positive, which when we multiply 2 by 5, when we go to step 2, we multiply 2 by 5 will give us 10, which we're going to write 10 there. Then when we multiply a multiplied by b will give us ab. That's why I've come up with 10ab, because we have multiplied a multiplied by b will give us ab. That's why I've come up with 10b. So that is the answer. Okay, question number 2, we have got 4p divided by 2q. Okay, so I'm going to write that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the signs. We have got positive signs. It's positive 4 divided by positive 2. Okay, so I've got positive signs. So we are going to, when we divide a positive by a positive, will give us the answer, which is a positive. So we are going to divide now numbers. Now what we're going to do is, we have got 2 there and 4 there. So we can take it that 4p is the numerator and 2q is the denominator. So now what we can do is, we can find a common number that can go into both numbers. There is a common factor of 4 and 2, which is 2. So we're going to divide both sides by 2. Okay, because 2 is the highest common factor of 4 and 2. Once we have come up with such an expression, so what we're going to do, we'll start dividing. So we will divide 2 into 2, we have 1. Then 2 into 4 will give us 2. Okay, then we come down here, we say 2 divided by 2 and 2 divided by 2 there. Okay, that means we have cancelled out the 2 which are on top. So since 2 down and 2 on top, they are the same number, so we can cancel them out. They are equal, so we can cancel them out. That means that will leave us with the 2q, or 2p divided by q. 2p divided by q. Now you can see that these cannot further be divided. We have got p there and q cannot further be divided. So what we can do is, we can just write it as a fraction like this. Okay, 2p over q. So now we have simplified this expression to 2p over q, which is the same as 2p divided by q. Okay, all right, now we can go to question 3. Okay, question 3, we have got negative 6y multiplied by 3z. Then we are going to write it down there. Then what we're going to do is, we're going to multiply the signs first. So negative multiplied by positive, remember 3 is a positive and negative 6 is a negative. So we're going to say negative multiplied by a positive will give us a negative. Then we go to numbers, we multiply. 6 multiplied by 3 will give us 18. Then y multiplied by z will give us yz. Okay, so the final answer is negative 18yz. That is the final answer. Now we have simplified that one. And we